Appeals meeting for the August 13th, 2025. We'd like to do the roll call first. Kathy, could you take roll call, please?
Mr. Abathera?
Here.
Ms. Brooks?
Here.
Mr. Jezerman?
Here.
Mr. Friesen? Mr. Nastasi? Quorum present.
Number 2 will be the approval of the minutes from July 9th, 2025.
I'll put forth a request to approve the minutes.
I'll second.
Kathy, take the vote, please.
Yes. Ms. Brooks?
Yes.
Mr. Jezerman?
Yes.
And Mr. Abathera?
Yes.
Okay, motion carries.
All right. Yeah, first case is going to be a variance request for 2143 Alfred from a Tyler Hijazi. I think I said that right. Dominic, would you like to tell us a little bit about that first?
Sure.
So this property is located within the, this is for 2143 Alfred for a fence variance. This property is located within the R1D zoning district, which requires a front yard setback of 25 feet along Alfred. The zoning ordinance limits fence height to 30 inches within a front yard setback. The petitioner is seeking a fence height variance for the installation of a proposed wood and mesh deer fence, which would be 6 feet in height and placed 1 foot away from the Alfred property line. The fence is proposed to run 30 feet along Alfred and return 24 feet back toward the house for a total variance length of 6 feet high, wood and mesh deer fence of 54 feet in the Alfred required front yard. Of the total 91 feet of fence requested, 37 feet of the fence complies with zoning regulations and does not require a variance. And if I may, just to inform the board, there is an enforcement on this property, EN 2025-00558, for working without a permit. This fence is currently installed.
Okay, thank you. Does anybody on the board have any questions for Dominic on this?
No.
Gary, if I may, since there are only 3 of you.
I was going to.
Okay.
All right. Is the petitioner here? If you like, just come up and just sign in. As you're doing that, I'll just tell you, we only have 3 members today, and it takes 3 to get a passing thing. You can postpone this till the next meeting if you'd like. It's your option.
I'd like to postpone.
Okay. Kathy, do we need to vote on that, or do we just?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Would someone put a motion forward to pass this till next month?
I will put a motion forward to delay this hearing for 2143 Alfred till our next board meeting.
Okay.
I second the motion.
Kathy, you take the vote, please.
1 second, Chair, I apologize.
No problem.
Okay. Mr. Jezerman?
Yes.
Mr. Abathera?
Yes.
And Ms. Brooks?
Yes.
Motion carries.
You're all set. We'll see you at the next meeting. Our next variance request is for 4819 Rochester Road from Kim Allard for Allied Signs. Dominic, would you tell us about that,
Okay.
please?
Once to the right slide here. 4819 Rochester is McDonald's USA, and the petitioner requests a sign area variance to install a replacement 56.25 square foot ground sign, setback 12 feet from the planned or future right-of-way line, whichever is greater, where the sign ordinance requires the sign be no larger than 50 square feet. In order to grant the variance, the board must find that all 5 appeals criteria of Chapter 85 signs are met.
Okay. Anybody have any questions for Dominic here? Dominic, I have a question for you.
Sure.
There was a sign there already, correct?
Correct.
And how big was the existing sign?
I do not know the size of the existing sign.
135 square feet.
Okay. And that sign had to be moved because the road widening?
Road expansion, correct.
Okay.
By eminent domain.
By eminent domain, okay. And now it's set back 12 feet, you said?
The proposed sign will be set back 12 feet.
Okay. And, okay. Anybody else have any questions on that?
Not for them, no.
Okay. All right, is petitioner here? Would you please come in? Whoever, just come in, both of you sign in, whoever wants to do the talking, and explain to us why you need the variance.
My name is Bob
Sign in, please.
Bongiorno.
Are they going to vote?
While you're signing in there, you heard us talk about the case before us, that we only have 3 of the 5 board members here, and you require all 3, you need 3 votes to pass. You can go with, hope you get all 3 of us to vote yes. Or
We do have a quorum.
We have a quorum, but if it's 2 to 1, it's a failing motion. So if there's 5 people and it's 3 and 2, it's a passing motion.
I'm pretty confident that what we're proposing with 3 people that understand what's taking place.
I just wanted to put it out there for you.
We're here on behalf of McDonald's located at 4819 Rochester Road, requesting a variance due to the fact that McDonald's had to remove an existing sign because of the road widening of Rochester Road, which the city requested, and McDonald's complied. They did remove the sign on their own expense, and what we're requesting is a variance of an additional 6.25 square feet for a monument sign at 0 setback. A sign at 0 setback is allowed by ordinance at 50 square feet. So we're just requesting 6.25 additional square feet at a 0 setback for the monument sign, which McDonald's did remove, and the old sign was much larger than we're proposing now for the variance.
Okay. Anybody have any questions for the petitioner?
I got multiple, so stick with me here. Are any components of the existing sign that was removed being reused here at this
No.
location?
No.
Nothing? Not one piece of it,
Not one
correct?
piece.
You're proposing a 56-plus square foot new sign, correct?
Correct.
And you said it was a monument sign, so it's built, what, with a sort of a wall or
Yeah.
a retaining wall type construction and then
Concrete
sitting
base.
on concrete base?
Yes.
So it's not an extension or it's not
A pole sign?
aerial? Yeah,
No,
not
it's
at all.
It is a monument ground sign,
Okay.
and it will have a masonry concrete base to it.
Okay. So in the construction of this type of sign, because obviously for a commercial type building like this, is this something that is precast? I mean, do you guys have a mold? Is there some sort of manufacturing process that you use for these types of things that you're following?
I'm Jerry Pesic. I'm representing McDonald's in the condemnation case, and that's why I'm here today. These are a mold that's used all around the country. So that's why the size is a little bit out of conformity with the standard 50-foot square foot ground sign. So.
Sir, I apologize. Can you come closer to I'm speaking to
Sure, I'm
the
sorry.
microphone. There you go.
I'm
Thank
sorry,
you.
I'll start over.
Thank you,
So
thank
this is they have a mold for these signs. It's the same size and dimensions are used across the country. I would just emphasize that what's happening here obviously is no fault of McDonald's. My understanding is they're the only people at this point that have complied with the requirement to have their old sign down by July 31st. So they've been very good citizens here. And I think under the circumstances, it's just a small variance. It would be appropriate to grant it.
Okay.
Okay.
I think that was it for me at this point.
All right. Do you have any questions for the? Good.
McDonald's may be franchise or individually owned, so the other ones in Troy are pole signs. Why a ground sign versus a pole sign?
I think this is the newest sign they have in terms of what they're doing around the country. This is the current design. Quite frankly, the old sign might have worked if there was also a requirement that the digital portion of it had to be taken down. And that was that was the mold they used for many, many years. That was the mold that was approved here in 2010. And they would have been happy to continue with that particular sign for as long as it could stay there and was legally non-conforming. But the circumstance that was required by the taking put us in a position of we had to get a new sign. We wanted to do one as close to being conforming to the current ordinance as possible, and with the exception of the additional 7 feet, this sign completely conforms to the ordinance.
Did you not realize that before you started taking down the old sign, that the new sign was going to be bigger? Or is it something that just came to your attention here?
Well,
Did you know when the city came to you and said, we want you to remove the sign and do all this, did you know then you're going to ask for a bigger sign, or did you not know it till you came to apply for the sign?
no, if I can, obviously because of the condemnation project, we had no choice but to take down the old sign, particularly when the city was requiring us, if we wanted to reuse it, to remove basically half of it. As I say, the current standard for this type of sign across the country for McDonald's is this 57 square foot sign. They would have to start over from scratch with new molds
No,
and everything.
I'm asking, did you know at the time that 57 square feet was 7 square feet bigger than what you were allowed to put in? Did you know that at the time?
Presumably, yes, but obviously not much of a choice in the matter.
But you didn't know until you came and pulled the permit?
I'm sorry?
You didn't know it until you came to pull the permit that you needed a variance? Did you know
No,
from
I
the...
think that was part of the application process for the permit, is the request for the variance.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
I haven't,
Okay, let me have Matt ask them first here. Go ahead.
this may be for you guys or for the city itself. I'm sorry, I forgot to ask this question. Is there any other signage that is actually on the building that would be included in this total for the sign square footage?
That'd probably be a...
There's just a sign across the building, on the top
So
of the
you do
building
have
that says
so
McDonald's.
you have a present sign that's
Yeah, but
located
that
on?
obviously was all approved when the building was built back
Yeah.
2010 or...
And maybe this is either one of you guys too. So there's another McDonald's that's at Big Beaver and Rochester Road.
I think it has one of them.
I haven't seen it. There's no monument sign or pole sign on that location.
I know the McDonald's you're referring to, that has tremendous exposure at that intersection. If you drove by this McDonald's right now, it has no exposure whatsoever. As a matter of fact, we've been told by the operator, since the sign has come down, that they're down 30% because they don't have a sign at all at this point. So,
One more question for you. You made a comment that you could have taken just half the sign down? Was that what you said?
I'm sorry.
I thought you said that the city said you could take just half the sign down if you wanted, because it was...
No, the city basically said in order to continue to use the old sign, we would have had to take the digital portion of it off.
Okay.
The marketing strategy that precipitated that particular sign required both pieces. So candidly, what we're putting up here has much less exposure, proposing to put up is much less exposure than the old sign. And it's, compared to the old sign, which we wouldn't be taking down were it not for the condemnation case, it's pretty modest.
Your old sign was how many square feet?
135.
And if you took down just the electronic part of it, you'd be at 100 square feet?
I don't think so. It's pretty good
75
size.
square feet?
It's pretty good size, the electronic
Okay,
piece.
so you'd still be more square feet than what you're asking for here?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
And as far as the wall sign goes, the city of Troy does allow permitting for wall signage and road sign monument signs. So it's two different permits,
Yep.
different signage allowed
Okay.
by ordinance.
Anybody else have any more questions for these two gentlemen? Okay, if you guys don't mind, we'll talk about it, and if I have any questions, I'll call you back up. Okay, thank you. So Elaine, I have the first question for you. This sign is going to be 12 feet back from the property line, and it has to be 50 square feet or less. If it was 0 to the lot line, 50 square feet? Anywhere between 0 and 20 feet, it'd be 50 square feet? If it was 21 feet, it'd be how big?
If you swing off it, it can maybe get right.
Past the 20-foot setback line, the sign can be up to 100 square feet.
Okay, all right. All right. What does my board want to talk about? Matt, any questions? Any discussions? Well, I'll take my discussion is,
Mr. Chair, can you please speak?
Talk to the
I'm sorry,
microphone.
I keep, so they had 120 square feet. They had to take it down. Their mold is 57 square feet. And Teresa, you've been here a long time, like me. We've had step backs. When you step further, if it was right at the lot line, it'd be 50 square feet. If they're at 10 feet back, we've gone up to like 75 square feet. At 20 feet, we're at 100 square feet. I don't feel they didn't cause their own problem. This is the street going in, and they came and said, look, you got to take your sign down. I feel they're cutting it down to almost a third of the size. Is a much nicer, less sign pollution, I guess would be the word, than the big golden arches that were there.
Well, and they got rid of the digital.
They got rid of the digital
display
part.
on the bottom.
Yes. In my opinion, unless someone can tell me something different, I don't have a problem with going 7 feet bigger, being that they're 12 feet back. If they were at the lot line, I'd have a whole different thing.
So I have another question back for the city. So if I'm showing this from the plan here, they have 77 feet, correct, from the easement to their building, correct?
Yes.
I mean, from what I'm showing here. So,
Give them the page number that you're.
I'm sorry, I'm on page 40 or
But
47.
Matt, I agree with you.
40?
77 feet.
Yeah. So they have 77 feet from the easement, right? You have a 12-foot easement, you're at, right? 89 feet from the road,
75
or from the sidewalk,
plus
sorry.
the 12.
Yeah. So is there anything from the code that says that they can't move that 20 feet in? Other than a parking lot that's there or whatever's in front?
About moving it inside the lot further?
Say if they want to move it 20 feet in and build a 100-foot sign, is there any problem with that? Does it have to be a distance from the building? For the monument sign?
No, I wanted to talk about it. So I don't think there is any reason for that. I think that they're trying to get it as close to the front property line for visibility, because you lose visibility.
Is there a height requirement?
No, right now they're meeting height requirement. Okay, so the only
But at
thing
20
that
feet back, is there a height requirement?
it should be the same thing. I don't think there's any difference in height requirement. The only thing is that you can put a sign that has a bigger area. So once you pass the 20-foot mark, they would not need a variance.
But from an aerial standpoint or from a height standpoint, as long as it meets 100 square feet or less at 20 feet, and they're fine.
They're fine, for what I understand.
So I will let you ask your question and then,
So Matt, in looking at that,
Yes,
there is a road that's a turnaround in front of McDonald's there.
I understand that.
They get closer.
But that's 77 feet in front.
No,
Correct.
but the road sticks like from the property line to the edge of the driveway is 30 feet. So they're almost dead center from the property line to their road that cuts from the drive-through line to the entrance of the McDonald's is a road. If you look on a couple pages up, 30 what? It shows the
counts, right.
no, 37. Go to page 37.
37.
Thank you. You see that, Matt?
Let me blow it up here. Hang on, sorry.
While you're looking at that, Matt, I have a question for our city attorney. If they never wanted to remove their sign with condemnation, how long would it have taken for a lawsuit to have it taken down and removed? And could it have been like held up in courts for 2 or 3 years? Just hypothetically question.
No, it wouldn't take that long. We'd have to probably file a motion in the existing case.
Okay.
So, but like Mr. Pesic said, we're condemning a lot of properties in Rochester, and a lot of them are required to remove their sign, and they haven't yet.
Okay.
So we might be following those motions in other cases, but this McDonald's actually was the only one that's complied so far.
Okay, so they've been very good neighbors in the city?
Yes.
Okay.
So, back to, I'm
Back to
sorry,
Matt.
I keep interrupting.
Let me go back to Matt.
I know, but, so basically what I'm looking at, even on page 37, I'm still counting the amount of the distance is 70-some square feet, or 70 feet from, plus if I'm looking at that right. I mean, is this the modified thing with Rochester Road to the sidewalk? I'm assuming this isn't,
Yes, that's the modified.
right, so you're at, what, 30, 60, 80, you're almost at 80 feet from the sidewalk again. So you're saying that this easement between the drive, or the easement actually between the building and that turnaround drive,
Yes.
they can do 100 feet at 20 feet in the air. Am I right?
Well, but I think they only want to go with 57 square feet at the ground level.
Maybe.
That's why
Well, that's why they're here, for 57 square feet at the easement, but that's not what the code says, so.
I'm not quite sure what.
I guess I'm thinking is, like, in my opinion, I don't see the hardship or the way that increasing the sign size by 6 or 7 square feet, and I understand the applicant is here, they've made their argument for it, but I don't see that you can't make a sign 6 square feet less to fit within that easement, or comply by moving it further back and being within the realms of where the code stays. So that's what I'm trying to say. And that's in my opinion, so.
Dominic, I have a question for you and Salim. If they made it 50 square feet, could they make it a digital sign? Could they make it a digital sign at 50 square feet?
To my understanding, as long as they met the light ordinance,
Okay.
that would be acceptable.
So at 57 square feet, it's not digital right now. What they're asking for
Right now is not digital.
Is not digital.
Correct.
Okay, so I feel that's a huge plus. Okay, I'm sorry, Teresa, you go.
So Troy's ordinance is 50 square feet at the setback. Do you know the rationale behind that, or other cities in the area, do they have that same 50 square feet? Only because if their national mold is at this almost 57, and I know that means national outside of the state of Michigan, I'm just wondering why Troy, we're at 50, if a national mold is set at 57.
So I need to add something here. Normally, the signs and fences are ZBA or, jurisdiction.
Okay.
In this case, for some reason, the building department is part of it. But the person that has the expertise on this would be Paul Evans, and he was not able to be at this meeting. So we would need to consult with him unless Alan can help us answering this on why. But I would think it's just a parameter that was created by the planning department to regulate it.
Alan?
It was just a decision when they did the amendments to the sign ordinance. I don't know if you recall, there was a lot of complaints about billboards on Rochester Road, and we did a major amendment, and this is through discussion with the planning department and city council. This is what they came up with.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that they probably pulled national
I think
companies.
that 50 sounded good and 100 sounded good. I don't think they thought what the nationals were like.
Right.
Sterling Heights, 75 square feet, it could be. I mean,
Right.
we're Troy, we're going to set our own parameters.
I guess, again, back to my opinion, and it's nothing against the applicants here, but if I have another McDonald's, I understand the exposure of the roads and the road. I mean, we could sit here and argue the traffic patterns and where things are at, but, for asking for a variance on a sign request for 6 square feet, I understand that there may be a national mold, but I just don't understand why we can't meet the 50 at where we're at. I mean, we got another McDonald's on Big Beaver in Rochester, doesn't have any monument sign, and I understand they get the traffic probably because of Big Beaver and so forth, but it's, I've lived in Troy for 30 plus years, and I remember the McDonald's sign when it still had the 1 billion serving 1 billion, so before the electronics, right? So, I mean, I understand the history there, and it is sad to see, unfortunately, that that sign had to be removed, and, that's not my choice of that, but, again, I'm looking at this from the ordinance standpoint and what Troy's elected to do for the ordinance standpoint. And I think your only hardship is the fact that there's a national mold, that you guys use for a signage, that you're creating this as a national, monument that obviously is either shipped to you or produced and then you guys install it or something of that nature. So those were the reasons for my questions. But again, I just don't see where making the argument that we would actually have to go the other direction on this to make that variance.
Well, I think the hardship is, they were quite happy with the sign they had. They were just living life and having their sign, and all of a sudden we came and said, we're taking your property, and oh, by the way, your sign's not good anymore. I feel they have a very good hardship than not having a hardship. Because they didn't come in and say, we want to replace the sign with this sign here. They came in and said, look, you took our sign, we have to do it. I mean, the same thing, if you remember, we did with Alibi Pizza. Some guy drove down the road,
Hit the sign.
wiped it out, and they said, well, you know what?
Right.
And they're like, listen, we've been here for 100 years, it's been our sign, we just want to replace what we had. So I feel these people have hardships. It's not like it's a brand-new building and they're saying, we want our sign right here, and that's
true.
that.
You make a point.
That's how I feel a hardship is. Excuse me one second, Salim?
I just wanted to add something more as a concept. From reading this case, I did see that all 5 points of a hardship are met. And like you're saying, they did not choose to be at this situation. The other thing is that that is this whole purpose of having boards, to be able to make decisions beyond the zoning ordinance. And so I just wanted to state that. And you guys have the authority, the discretionary authority to decide. We're not going against the ordinance by deciding.
Yeah. And I think, Gary, you make some very good points here, so thank you for making those. I think the other thing is you make those good points, but what says that 5-10 years from now, Rochester Road's going to turn into an 8-lane freeway? Well, now we got to move the sign again.
Well,
now we're going to ask for another 50.
They'll be back here and, yeah.
You can come up, or just 1 second, we'll call you.
One second, I'll call you in
yeah.
1 second. Do you have any more questions right now before I bring
I
the
have-
applicant back up?
3 points. One, if we have any public opinion.
Okay.
My 2 other points are, this is for McDonald's, but we know that other signs are coming down on this road. We could be setting a precedent by whatever vote we end with. Also, a little bit to the speed of the road and the congestion of the road. We're talking about 7 square feet, and so that it's not exorbitant, excessive, and so hopefully with the congestion on this road, the extra 7 square feet will help their business versus forcing a sign that's either closer in or smaller in size.
I don't disagree with that. I think the thing is, looking at the sign design, I mean, I see it's 7.5 feet by 7.5 feet for the actual, illuminated part. The McDonald's arch is a little bit smaller than that, 5 foot or something by 5 foot. So I understand what you're saying, is I think it makes a point of like the visual when you're driving by, but.
Salim, can you pull up the sign of what it looks like?
I think it's 41.
Page 41?
Something like that, 41, 42.
That's not the proposal.
It's not the one you were thinking of.
You want the current sign, correct?
No, the one that's going to be.
Sorry.
The proposed sign.
Okay.
30,
Okay, so everything in red on that sign equals the 57.6, 57 square feet? Everything in red?
Correct.
Okay.
The base does not count
The
towards
base
signage.
does not count towards
Correct.
that? Okay.
Yeah, it's 56.25 if I look at the 7.5 of just the red portion.
And so that's, I understand now he's saying about a national, they stamp those
They
signs out.
stamp them out.
and
They're
all
probably
the
going to
same size.
ship them out. And
Yes. I
Yeah.
mean, there's probably 3,000.
Just like their hamburgers, right?
Yes, okay. And I guess asking my board here is, we've done signs before, we haven't done as many anymore, but we don't like to see illuminated signs as much as we like to see just a straight sign like this.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think that's a very, I have
Again,
no
what's,
problem.
and go back again, because I don't have to keep on reading this. What was the setback again on this?
12 feet.
12 feet off the road or off the sidewalk?
12 feet off the right-of-way line. So we're more than halfway of 50 to 100, square feet. Dominic, I have another question for you. Down the street, 2 or 3 buildings is Kroger Gas.
Okay.
And there's a sign in there. Does that sign have to come down too? Or is that sign, because it looks like it's pretty close to the same distance.
Yeah, I can't answer that because I did not look into that.
Okay. So if you, my
Oh,
board
yeah,
looks,
yeah, yeah.
you see that Kroger
Yeah.
sign there?
But what do we know?
Page
from the ci-
43.
Yeah, from the city, do we know of other
And I'm wondering, because
businesses on that side have been requested?
Because that Kroger was put in
Domain?
only about 7, 8 years ago. I know they were widening Rochester Road at the time, so they wouldn't have allowed them to put the sign in the,
Yeah,
so.
that's, yeah.
Now, that sign could be only 50 square feet, I don't know, but it looks like it's 12 feet back also. Like, that sign to me is a perfect sign. I have no issues with something like that right there. And the McDonald's sign looking like that going down there, we got rid of the tall signs.
Yeah. Does the city know what the other businesses that are along that strip that have been?
Let me ask Alan. Alan, would you know?
The Kroger was part of the condemnation, and I actually don't remember Kroger. That sign may actually be outside the area, but
Okay.
I don't remember. But I know, for instance, the Firebird Tavern sign next to McDonald's has to go.
And that's a tall,
That's a pole setting, but that's because it's, oops, sorry.
It is
That's
right.
within that right of way again.
Yeah, and we've requested the attorney that's representing that property that it has to be removed, but they haven't done so yet.
Okay.
And
Right.
supposedly that property is going to come to this board for a variance, is what I've heard too as well, but that sign that's there has to be moved, no
Okay.
question.
okay.
So,
I have 2 more questions for you, Dominic and Slim. Is there any letters from anybody in favor or against this? Any emails, letters?
Not that I'm aware of, no, I have
Nothing
not
to read
received
of?
anything.
Okay. And is there anybody in the audience that's, seeing none? There's nobody in the audience. All right, I'm going to bring the gentleman back up. You wanted to have a question here?
Well, no, I just wanted to point out, if we came back with a 50-foot, we could be at a 0 setback.
Speak in the
Sorry,
microphone.
one
better.
second.
I just wanted to point out that if we came back with a 50-foot sign, which would be a total redesign, we could be at a 0 setback and be legally conforming.
Right.
Part of trying to be a good citizen is we know that's probably not a favored outcome, even though that would be as a matter of right.
Right.
I think what's proposed is reasonable. This is a hardship that is not self-created. I don't think there's any question about that. And I appreciate your concern, but it just seems like to me that it's a very reasonable request. It's not self-created. I will also just add, and Mr. Motzny knows this, I'm kind of helping him in the condemnation case because it has a mitigating impact on what the damages that we'll be claiming in that particular case. So again, just trying to be good citizens and
Understand.
work through these things
Yeah.
with Mr. Motzny.
We appreciate you guys looking into that too.
I'd like to also add with the 6.25 square feet we're asking for, in reality, the sign is 7 foot 6 inches wide.
Right.
That's only asking for less than 8 inches of area
Right.
is what it equals out in
Right.
reality.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
And I guess not for you, but I think the city can answer. I've asked this before, and I know you answered it, but looking through the chapter on the signage and what the city requires, do we add the signage that's on the building to the signage that's at the roadside for a total?
Matt?
It's separate.
Hold on one question. Are we all done with okay. Are you guys all, your question answered? I was going to have you sit back down while we talk about
Oh,
this.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So to your question, to my understanding, and again, Paul Evans, he is the expert on this, but to my understanding, they are separate. So the signage on the building would not affect.
Signage on the
This.
building doesn't equal signage on the sign.
Right?
Okay.
Just wanted to
All right.
check that.
That is a good point you brought up, Matt, is if we turn them down today, they're going to come back with a 50-foot sign at the lot line,
Yeah, which they're allowed.
which they're allowed, I understand, but I think we're better off being 12 feet back. Yes, Dominic?
I just want to make one comment. The sign at the lot line is not an option. There's a 12-foot easement
Okay.
running along there,
Gotcha.
is what causes the 12-foot.
Okay, all right.
And I want to ask one more question, just because I don't know who has investigated this, but knowingly it's Rochester Road here and we have easements and so forth, but, and I know it's a monument sign, it's not a pole sign, but all utilities, we're all good on that side in the area that they're proposing?
Here's the easement.
Yeah,
It clears the easement. Because, I mean, I'm noticing down Rochester Road, we're putting, 20-story power poles in, so I just want to make sure.
So they would still need to call Ms. Dick to make sure there's nothing down there, but it
Yeah.
does clear the easement.
Yeah. So it's outside of that window of.
We're outside the right of
so,
ways.
Yeah, and I'm not sure, the height's not my concern with hitting power lines or anything, but.
All right. Any more questions, board?
And the DPW has reviewed this or not yet?
I can't, I'm not sure, honestly.
Okay.
So practically DPW, what they do is they go just by the easement and they give us the freedom to, review under our own rules. But as long as it's outside the easement, I think DPW would be fine. We can coordinate with them in the future, but at this point, all we've done is just to present this case.
Okay.
I think he could.
I have a question for the applicant.
Come on back up, please.
Oh, you do have it up. So the site sketch does not show the water or sewer.
I'm
Do
sorry.
you, the site sketch that's shown on page 37 does not show the water or sewer? Do you know where that,
Dig is called prior to any foundation digging.
right, I just didn't know if you knew.
Oh, yeah.
If it comes.
Make sure.
But where it comes into the building, if you're aware of that right now.
Ms. Dig will indicate that.
So what if it's coming through right where the sign monument's supposed to go, and you got to put a footing on that, right?
They'll move it left or right.
We'd move it over left or right, whatever we had to, but that's usually not ever an issue. Where
Okay.
we propose the sign, and it's out of the easement, all underground utilities and stuff are usually,
The only reason we ask that question is because a lot of times we get requests for how we actually, if we vote on this and it is approved in any way, that it's at that location. If it gets moved, whether or not that has to be re-reviewed again. That's why I'm asking.
I think we reviewed in the office. Yes, Lee?
We can check on GIS right now to see that, and we have layers for it if you guys want to see it. Right now, he's looking for it.
You have the leads
How,
going into the building?
How wide is your sign?
The main lines.
how wide?
Well, that's what I'm just worried about into the
Foundation?
building.
2
Yeah,
foot
so-
wide. Masonry brickwork is 2 foot wide.
Matt, with a
2 foot
2-foot
footing?
wide sign, if it's over a water main, the most they're going to move is 2 feet left or right.
But you still have to do a 4-foot footing on that, right?
Yeah, but it'll still be 4 feet deep, or 6 feet deep, whatever, but it would miss the water in the sewer line, because the sign is only 2 feet wide. If it happens to fall right on top of it, they can move it over 2 feet left, 2
Oh,
feet
I know,
right.
but you understand what I'm trying to say from past practices, even on fences.
Yeah.
We approve based on what the permit's for, and what the site sketch is for and location.
So I guess I could ask the question for Salim, we're only worrying about 12 feet back, not left or right.
North to south.
Yeah, they could go 10 feet north, 10 feet south, as long as they're at that, they're not asking for the variance that way. It's just
On their
12
property,
feet.
right?
Correct.
On the
yes.
property.
I also wanted to say that, so when it comes to the technical part of it, of the location of the leads and all that, we can check internally, and normally those are at about 6 feet deep, so it would not really be a big problem. The biggest problem here would be fiber optic, but that's why there's an easement.
Oh, I didn't even think of that.
So it's fiber optic is in the right of way, so it wouldn't be over the sewer and water.
All going into the building.
Well, that's their own word. They break their own fiber optics.
True.
It's private, it's
Okay.
not public, it's not, anyway, they're going to call to ask anything.
One other question for the applicant, again, I'm not seeing it on here, but I just want to make sure. Is there any other landscaping changes or anything like that on the easement being made to accommodate for this sign that you were proposing?
I don't believe so. We hadn't really discussed landscaping, but
Well, we're only here for the sign.
I know, I'm just curious for my own sense of looking at the sign.
I mean, there is a landscape area there where the old sign was.
Yeah.
So I would probably anticipate some little tweaking just to kind of, make everything look well. But I don't believe that I've seen a landscape
According
plan.
to that site plan, it does look like some greenery is north and south on that
Right.
plot there between the the drive in the building, so it does look like there is some vegetation or greenery there, according to that site plan.
I know, I'm just looking back at, say, slide 42, somewhere in there. I see it, I can't tell if the trees are on whose property and stuff like that,
That
so.
would probably be the trees indicated on the site plan.
Yeah, you can see on there, you can see.
So it's hard to tell whether it's, would be in that path of that sign or anything like that.
Of the new sign?
Yeah.
Are you, any more questions for the applicants? I have one question for them here.
I do now.
Okay, I'm the chairman of the board, and you had to take a sign down, which I feel is that you didn't really want to, but you only have 3 of the 5 people on the board here today. I'm not sure you quite understood when I said earlier that it takes all 3. We're going to be back here, I think, in 3 weeks. If you guys would want to postpone it till 3 weeks so that there's 5 people on the board, because you need 3 votes. I'm only asking you if it's something that you guys want to do, or you can stay with what we have. I just want to make sure you understood clearly when I said at the beginning, because there wasn't a case before you to hear anything. You were coming up here fresh. If you guys want to discuss it for a minute,
Sure.
you can come back up and let us know while we talk about it among us.
I have one more question, I'm sorry.
Sure.
I keep on looking at these pictures and everything keeps on popping. So there's an entry and an exit sign that's ground level right at the driveways.
I see those.
Are those staying, those going? Is that part of this?
I don't really think that's part of this. Obviously, you want an entrance and an exit sign so people know where to go in and where to go out. All of those are conforming as best I know. And really the whole focus, I think, and Alan, who's the guy who's taking all these signs,
He's collecting them, yes.
can clarify that, but it's really about the monument.
The aerial sign, yeah.
The aerial
And the
sign.
flow of traffic, directional signs,
Yeah.
they're more considered than advertisement signs. So it's basically the flow of traffic and informational.
Understand.
Salim, I have a question. Paul Evans is the expert on these signs right here. He wasn't able to make it today. I know Alan is also, but Paul would know exit, enter, this sign, building signs. If he would be the person, will he be here at the next meeting, do you
Would be
think?
the authority. I don't know, I have to check his calendar.
Just putting that out for you
Well, I mean,
also.
like even the Taco Bell on Rochester, most all restaurants have directional signs, enter, exit.
I know, but he's questioning the 50 square feet, over 57 square feet, and then if those are adding to it also.
Right.
That's where the question's coming. But we're only talking about the ground sign in the front.
Because,
Is there additional information that you feel that you need to make a decision, and therefore?
I don't need any information to make a decision, but I don't know if other people on my board do. I don't know what they think.
Because if there were if there was additional information that members of the panel thought that they needed in order to make a decision, we would come back with that additional information and
Okay.
It
hold
seems
off the
pretty
decision today.
reasonable what we're requesting, and all the information we have isn't going to change.
I understand
And
exactly
as
what
far
you're
as directional signs being included with this request for monument sign, it wouldn't if we went for a 150 square foot sign at a setback. So the directional signs really don't come into play with what our request is, because they would still be allowed even if we complied with a pole sign with a setback for more square footage. So really, the 1 square foot or 2 square foot of drive-through signs isn't going to change a request for a bigger sign anyways, which would look more gaudier and not as clean as a monument sign. This is going to have masonry brickwork for the base. So it's going to be done well and look.
But I think my original question was, you don't have it in any of your plans right now to remove those directional signs, or it's not being requested that they be removed?
It's not being requested
Is that
by the
correct?
city. We
Right, but
complied
you're not touching them as part of this.
No, we would
They're
not.
staying in existence, correct?
Yes.
That pretty much was my
Yes, they would.
overall question, to kind of get an
Existing and would remain.
understanding of that.
Okay. Do you guys want to discuss it if you want to come back in 3 weeks, or do you want to keep us going
For
forward?
the petitioner. So
Strictly your call. Oh, excuse me one second. While you're thinking about that, yes, Celine?
Just for the question about the directional signs, they are shown on this page here. You can see the existing signs, and they are outside the setback line. So they are in compliance and proposed to remain.
Okay.
And also, I wanted to add, I'm looking at a view of the McDonald's. To your question on the landscaping, it falls under the same stone areas, so there shouldn't be any extra.
Okay.
It's practically
Thank you.
right on spot.
Thank you.
I'll bring it back to you guys.
We'll chat first.
Okay. All right. Do we have any, they're gone. Any discussion? You guys?
There's a lot of different points made here. I think in the beginning, I really felt strong that there was not enough argument here, but
Sure.
they also brought up the fact of like, if I drove down Rochester Road, I look at Taco Bell, another conglomerate down the street, right? They have directional signs and their sign is way more than 50 square feet. But again, I didn't measure to see what their setback was on that, but I can tell you it's not 20 feet
20
off of it.
feet, yeah.
So it's, and again, I don't know what the year that was put in to compare, right? And you're right, they're put under a hardship for this. So, yeah, but again, what she made is
If
precedent.
someone wants to put a motion forward,
Well, we'll wait to see what they say.
Okay, we've come to consideration with our conversation that we would like to move forward on behalf of McDonald's and our request for a variance, that all the things that we've stated will not change. It is a hardship not self-imposed. McDonald's was one of the first businesses to comply with the city's request for the widening of Rochester Road. I think that the township, working with the businesses that comply and are willing to do things on their own dime and right away, they're not playing games like some of the people may down the road and try to fight City Hall about it. McDonald's is doing it on their own, and they're one of the first. So we feel that our request for McDonald's would be warned for a vote from the members of the board.
okay, sounds good, thank you. You guys, any more questions for us, or, you guys have a seat there? Any more discussion after the comments there? Does anyone put a motion forward?
Just one more comment to the city, I guess, in the sense, the illumination of the sign, even though it's not a digital sign in any way, but they still have to comply within a manageable reason and foot candles, right, on the
They
illumination?
have to comply with candle.
Candle up there, yeah. So do they submit that with the permit as well?
It should have been submitted on the plan review, but we can always double check that it meets code.
Yeah, but that's reviewed under the permit then, right?
It's just
Yeah,
the
right, just making
light
sure.
bulbs inside of it.
No, it's LED, I know, yeah. I'm just double checking on the illumination
All right.
review.
Teresa?
I would put a motion forth to, I move that the sign ordinance variance request for 4819 Rochester Road be granted for the following reasons. I would refer to page 35 in the applicant packet that states that for the first reason, the exceptional characteristics of the property, the road expansion project has put this into a unique situation. The characteristics made which make compliance with the requirements of the chapter difficult. Again, this is related to the eminent domain and the situation that was created by that. The characteristics which make compliance with the requirements of the chapter difficult shall not be of a personal nature. This was not something that the property owner created. The characteristics which make compliance with the requirements of the chapter difficult must not have been created by the owner of the premise, a previous owner, or the applicant. As previously stated, this was not their doing. And the proposed variance will not be harmful or alter the essential characteristics of the area, and that the proposed variance will not affect any of the area by replacing the sign pole. They are creating a good environment.
I'll check with Kathy. Did you get all that, Kathy?
I will when I listen to the video, but thank you.
I guess, did you hear it okay?
I do. I
Okay.
understand, yes.
Okay. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Kathy, would you please take the vote when you get a moment?
Mr. Abathira?
Yes.
Ms. Brooks?
Yes.
Mr. DeZerman?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Motion carries. You guys are all set.
Have a good day.
Our next thing is communications. Do we have any communications? Anybody, anything? Number 5, public comment. Seeing nobody in the public here. Any miscellaneous business? Are we all set with our schedule all the way up until December? We're all good with all that? We didn't have anything from a couple months ago we're talking
I
about?
think this is a short month though, right? Like we have one and then we have one in a couple weeks or something.
So we're probably gonna have one, do you think she's coming back next month, or you think gonna,
I believe she will be back.
okay. And do we have anything after her too, or just that one, as far as you know?
As far as I know, just the one so far.
Okay, all right.
Oh, I take that back. There may be one more sign next
Okay.
month. Maybe another sign.
Alan, you want anything? Anything you want to put into our meeting? That's nice to see you at our meeting.
Yeah,
you know.
well,
Tell us what's happening with the city, with the laws, no?
We're still open.
Glad I was able to be here. It was an interesting discussion, so, yeah.
All right, we're adjourned.